If you can get an appendix, that would be really good.
Hey, dwarf, you want to poke that berry?
Do you need your appendix, Alucard? No. Oh, I see we get the grumpy one today. Now, give me that. The Count plunges his hand straight through his Alucard's body and pulls out an appendix.
What the fuck?
Thank you.
That's not very sanitary.
That's definitely not normal.
Here you go. I hope you can use it properly. I don't know what just happened, but I'm sure it's someone else's fault.
I deleted myself, hold on.
No, I deleted you guys.
What happened to Ahi?
Everyone is gone.
How did you delete me?
Do I have access to your sheet?
Apparently you do.
Yeah,
How?
I do. Oh, I don't know.
Can you get off my sheet, please?
No, I can't. Over does that.
Yeah. Can you remove his access to my sheet?
Why does
Not
he
that I don't
have
trust you, Josiah,
access
but I
to
don't
his
trust
sheet?
you.
Make sure he doesn't have access to mine.
I don't, otherwise it would have been deleted there.
Good.
Why do you have access to so many?
I'll in it because I helped them out with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know for granted though.
Okay, so, I'm sure you're all curious as to why I brought you here.
Well, yeah.
Mr. Logan, could you please get off the table? It is quite expensive.
God,
That's
damn,
a table?
sit here.
It's, you know, I'm sorry it was too low for me to expect it to be a table. I have not used enough things. I mean...
I am a
like, I'm used to
halfling,
them.
but I can see where you'd make the mistake. We are both quite small species. Anyway, but before I begin that, how much do you know about the history of this area?
Let's see, shall we? I know 19.
19 wisdoms.
Let me see.
You're not sure
I
about
know
an
19
area called
histories.
Faeldrin? Well, would anyone know if I perhaps referred to this place instead of Faeldrin as Wallach?
Wallach.
Yes.
Wait a
That's-
second. Out of
Wallach sounds
character.
like what just
Wallach?
happened to
Really?
King
James?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Wait,
I
what?
love it.
Pennsylvania it is.
I'll be honest, Mr. Count, Wallach sounds like what just happened to this room.
Just
No.
Wallachs all over the place.
It was known as Wallach or Wallachia. It was referred to as both.
Okay.
You
Do I
can-
recognise that?
Yes.
Okay. What do I know about it, James?
Rather famously, it used to be the domain of what is regarded as the first vampire,
Oh.
Oh.
who was slain centuries ago by the great hero Van Helsing. This is common
Really?
knowledge at this point. Like, this is such a narrative history right there. It's universal to
I mean,
all
yeah.
worlds, basically.
Yeah, it sort of is. Oh, so this is where the first vampire turned up, isn't it?
Yes, you are quite correct. And where he began his reign of terror with the Nine.
The ring raids?
What are
The
those?
Mighty Nine?
No,
It's pronounced the Mighty Nine.
it is, but no.
What? Why are you saying no? What is wrong with you people?
I mean the Mighty Nine.
Yes, the 9 other direct sires of Dracula.
Good lord.
Dracula.
Also all extinct at this point. They were all destroyed either
What
during...
about Alucard?
That was just Dracula's name backwards.
My god,
Wait,
he's
really?
right.
Wait, for all the
Hang
vampires
on a
destroyed, or
Seth's gonna start
Well,
tapping on his finger.
All of his direct sires were. A few Lesser vampires have survived through to this day, but none of the originals with all their power. It is, quite rare to see a vampire these days, after the Emperor purged and killed the last two true vampires.
I'm getting a sinking feeling about what this plague is going to entail. Do you have vampires everywhere? Is this what you're telling us?
I am glad you are quick on the uptake, yes.
Oh, I
Not
like him now.
quite, though. This is the
Oh.
peculiar part. The plague has a lot of similarities to vampires, but no actual vampires have arrived.
The what? A lot of blood sucking happening, but no actual vampires.
Can I knowledge
Humans-
you in nature / religion / plane / whatever you want to know something about, like, biology of vampires?
It would be religion.
Would it indeed? Good thing I have a +10 to that.
You're quite familiar with the anatomy of undead.
Undead in general.
So knowledge religion is undead.
The fuck?
That is
Knowledge, religion, acrobatics.
What the fuck?
That's my favorite religion.
yes.
Do a
That
backflip.
roll.
The knowledge of how acrobatics is used in worship of religion is quite important these days.
The cult of
you
the dancing
know-
nuns.
Yes, they're fantastic.
Oh, the number's actually accurate.
So, you know that, vampires have a lot of very specific traits and weaknesses. The fangs, the pale appearance, the just general vampirism. It's very, very common to have those traits and very, very hard to hide those traits. So, if an
Can't they also take on a gaseous form?
Yes, they do. Yes, you see, but the afflicted behave like vampires, but are not. They are mortal.
It's probably rabies.
Yes, that was my first assumption too. I hate the badgers around here, so I ordered a cull, but it didn't do anything.
You bastard! I'm going to get Brian May to kill you.
You did what?
Oh no.
If there is an infection, it has to be purged before it spreads to
I
the
thought
entire
rabies,
population.
James. It's TB.
He doesn't know that. He's an expert in undead.
Look at this guy's house. He wanted to die with mashed potatoes. He doesn't care.
But it seems to have little effect, so I've called it off because, it wasn't working.
And all it's done is breed a supreme race of dire badgers.
Yes, it is quite problematic, but they can't get into my house, so... like tomorrow's problems. Let's
Have we
focus on
considered
now.
training the dire badgers to eat the infected?
Wouldn't you just end up with infected dire badgers?
You'll have to
Yeah.
excuse me, but I will get
But then we
back
can
to
go
you
back
on
to
that
the door.
idea. That sounds fantastic.
Damn it.
but
Are dire badgers big enough for him to ride on?
But let us continue. See, the problem is... the victims tend to vanish. Like, they have a desire for blood and will consume it however they can, but... they've never attacked anyone. And then they just... are gone.
Have you tried giving any of the victims any blood?
Oh yes, they happily devour anything you give them, but...
How did the first vampire come about?
well... that? Oh, you really don't want to get me talking about things like that. I love the undead. Not in that way.
I'm just thinking it might be pertinent.
I think we know what happened to his wife, guys.
Well,
You mean the Lich Queen?
well, you see, the first vampire was born from a special power which has always existed in this world.
Okay.
It is similar to, but not actually comparable to the power wielded by us immortals.
Uh-huh.
More
What's
important,
stopping another true vampire being born?
well, ever since the emergence of the Emperor, the beings carrying such primal energy have decreased in number dramatically.
The Emperor who hasn't been seen ever since.
Well, I believe it is more
Like,
due to the
however
rise of
long ago.
immortals in his wake.
Hmm.
My theory is the two powers are conflicting, and the more one rises, the weaker the other gets.
I see. So you're saying that we want to empower vampires in order to defeat the immortals? Don't worry, I'm just thinking to myself.
Oh, you are quite correct. We immortals are in fact as vulnerable to them as they are to us. Unfortunately, our power grows far greater than theirs, so we typically win in conflicts. But we must always be wary. A primal can tear us apart if we're not careful.
Is there like a rule that you can only be one of the other, or could you like stack them both?
Oh, no one's ever tried. No one knows how to acquire primal power.
But none of those vampires ever tried becoming, you know, an immortal through trials?
No, no! We wiped out the vampires long ago who carried primal power.
Oh.
Well,
Also, this
supposedly.
whole plague thing.
Well, all but one. But he's not going anywhere. I've locked him in my basement.
Oh, excellent.
Let's go find him.
Oh,
Yes.
are you sure?
Siegfried, you're the expert in plagues, I assume, just from the mask. And the plagues.
Before, if you do go down there are a few things you have to bear in mind. First
Go on.
off, they refer to themselves, for some reason, as Alucard.
Wait a second,
Oh,
that's
no.
Dracula backwards!
Yes,
Wow.
this is why it is so peculiar. For you see, there are two things wrong here. First off, Dracula was the first to die.
So you look like the suckiest vampire.
All those years ago when Van Helsing fought.
Suckiest has a different meaning.
Secondly, Dracula definitely had the body of a man.
Is this your wife down there?
No! My wife's
Okay.
buried
Where
in the
is your
cemetery.
wife?
Buried
Tell
in the
us.
cemetery.
Are you sure? I'm
Yes.
getting my shovel.
No, you are not.
Well, that's fair. I don't even have a shovel.
I
Well, good. No, I am an immortal. I outlived my wife.
It's a bit rude of you.
Well, she didn't take the trial, now did she?
Why
I
didn't you
assume
take
not.
it with her?
I only
You
met
missed
her
your wife.
after I completed the trial, my dear.
Ew, he just called you my dear. Overstep.
Not exactly an overstep. It's a very normal.
Not from this dude, he's creepy.
What's so creepy about him?
Doesn't
He's
wear
like
shoes.
No, I mean he's covered in mashed potato for one thing.
If you ask me.
We cleaned that up.
Look, it's a simple matter. Not, I can't
Anyway.
assist her through the trials. The trials cannot be taken twice and cannot be taken with someone else in that way. Time took its toll. That is all. Now I will let you see this Alucard if you want, but he has not been that useful. Also, no matter what, refer to them as a he, please.
Okay.
they get very stroppy if you don't. And I'm not one to judge.
Okay, so a few more questions. To start off, your vampire issue. Can
Yes.
this be resolved by, handing out garlic and holy symbols, etc. to the villagers?
Well, you see, I said exactly that, and they did actually follow my advice, but they're still getting just infected.
So they all think they're Alucard,
Ooh, I've never thought about checking that.
regardless of species or gender. And they will insist that they are the correct species and gender.
Interesting. I never considered that they might be acting the same way.
Sounds
How
like
curious.
a classic case of
Hipstergitis.
But yes,
yeah.
if you'd follow me, do not touch anything in this area, I will take you to the cage.
I pretty much touch
I
everything.
have one more question.
Yes?
Why did you call us specifically, as in this group specifically? How did you even know about us?
I didn't. He asked me to bring you here.
Oh,
Oh?
What?
Oh dear.
and okay.
Siegfried, is this your fault? Do you know this man?
I have no recollection of this man whatsoever.
Is this your dad?
Definitely not.
Are you
Do you have a
Alucard?
dad?
I am definitely not Alucard. I am
I am not a vampire!
Wait. What's Siegfried backwards?
Yeah. It's Dracula. I knew it.
I think it's about Dracula, you guys!
This is not what I expected from a cage.
This is a nicer room than we have.
This is a great cage!
Is this stone or is this like carpet?
That's carpet.
Oh, this fucker gets. Oh.
What the hell, Seth? Get out of there!
No.
I forgot to put a door on it. I'm just noticing this now.
Quickly, body block it.
No!
Good thing it's not a cage or
He's
anything.
going to get out!
It's, I would like to point out this is actually, there are gaps in bars in the stone wall which allow you to see into the room quite freely.
Oh.
Oh, great. Mr. Count is a pervert.
Well, as you
Yeah,
can
why do you have this thing?
Well,
How
a
often do you
few
peep?
100 years ago, I think it was. Not many. Probably like
Yep.
250. I lose track of time.
The
I
otter probably filled up.
was doing some research on an area rumored to have vampires back when the purges were still happening. Where I came across a vampire den where every vampire inside had been slain already. And except for one, I was curious for some reasons. I would like to do an experiment. Who knows what becoming a vampire does to your mind?
It makes you think you're Alucard.
No.
Makes you a heretic?
Well, technically correct, but not the answer I was looking for.
Makes you wear plague doctor masks? I
Vampires are
gladly
For the last
Irrecon-
time, I am not a vampire.
No, you don't appear to be. Some relation, perhaps.
Have you heard his accent though?
He's the kid of a vampire.
He sounds exactly like a vampire.
They do not just sound like
It's
that.
Mona the vampire.
You know, that's exactly what a vampire would say.
I've
Anyway,
never pinpointed
shush.
where that accent comes from.
What I was going for is that vampires are irreconcilably and naturally evil. No matter how good the person before they are turned, they become evil once they do.
It's bullshit, Pathfinder. Give us a good
What
undead,
is
sort of undead.
Pathfinder?
It's a person who finds the route through the mountains, I believe.
Yeah, we've
Yes,
used
could
them
be
before.
others.
I am noticing
Any relation
we...
to vampires, do you?
He may be a vampire.
Yes, no. So, I just wish to ask, are you a paladin, my dear sergeant?
Oh, definitely yes.
Could I trouble you to cast Detect Evil for me?
I would be honored to detect evil. I love it when I see evil.
Please
Also use it on the
focus
count.
on
What?
the vampire, if you would.
Use it on the count as well.
Luna is
love
also
seeing
going to
evil?
take this
I can't.
opportunity
I don't
to
think I
do
don't
a
think I
thing.
I don't think I can use it more.
There
than
is an undead
Okay.
in the
Use
in
it
that
on limited amount.
cage.
He's
Oh.
going to take this
Okay.
opportunity to do Aboleth's lung.
I am
Wait,
gonna.
no, not that one.
I'm gonna detect evil.
The figure in the cage is not evil.
What about
What?
the count?
He's not evil.
Count
Wait, can I just keep focusing the thing? How strong is this aura?
Can I detect evil?
How
on
does the
count?
aura work, so to speak? Does it detect how powerful the
So
undead
I
is?
focus on it for a number of rounds, max of like 3 rounds, and then it gives. aura
Does it
score
have
based
the
on hit
same-
dice.
Is there a guide to what a hit dice means?
It's- Yeah, it's on the detect engine page. I'll throw it in
Thank
to
you.
The over. Is the count evil?
The count is not evil. The aura is overwhelming.
I am going to share that fact with the class.
What aura?
The undead aura.
Oh.
Very dead. But
I
not so
tapped into
dead.
the ley line.
I'm going to
Whatever's in
take
there
out
is
my
very,
10-foot
very
pole
strong.
and try and poke the guy through the bars.
Great, infect your pole.
Yeah,
I have
cool.
2.
The figure does turn in response to look at you and go, could you not?
I could not. Not.
Why? There are people like you.
You called us here. Don't give me sass.
The figure suddenly bends over, clutching their head, and goes, okay. Not liking that. And it seems to lose focus and look at the book again and start reading. Yes, it is quite peculiar. His speech patterns seem to change at random. I've been trying to work it out for quite a few years, but I got nowhere, so I just kept them there. They've been quite a reasonable guest. I just keep them up to date on the latest news and give them books, and they seem quite happy to remain here.
Wait, did they look female?
They do look female.
Oh, right.
How attractive are they?
Ooh, good point.
Hello?
Oh,
Ooh.
I like the question mark.
are they armed?
But I need an
Did he
exact
put them
number.
in there armed?
No.
That seems like an odd choice.
Oh my god!
What?
It's Dracula.
Wait, no.
Dot, 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 dot. Oh my god! Living up to your name once again, man.
Yes. You see why everything seems so confusing now, don't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our sergeant.
Oh, I'm flustered. Sorry, what?
So, my
Right.
question is, how can there be a vampire who carries primal power? By the way, they do. I've tested this. But not
tested?
be evil.
Well. That is peculiar.
Quite.
Perhaps they're not a vampire, necessarily.
Oh no, that one is definitely a vampire.
Is the eye patch for show or is it
But
actually
they ain't
practical?
evil.
Sorry, what was that?
Maybe it's a. Maybe. Oh, sorry.
Is the eye patch for show or is it just or is it actually practical?
No, it is an eye patch because there's no eye there.
It definitely subtracts points from the, practiveness.
Well, I mean, there's an eye patch there, so you don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If it's just a cosmetic thing or like If it's there
Well, I
for a
mean-
reason.
It is a cosmetic thing. It's to hide the fact that they've got no eyes.
Gaping hole in there. You know, why don't you just live it up to what you got?
Now, if
Have
any of
you
you...
tried casting Carrion Compass on it?
I apologize, but I am not... I am more of a historian and biologist than I am a caster.
How did you even pass the first trial?
He looks at you and smiles.
With history.
He quoted history at them.
There are
Whatever it
many
is.
ways to win a trial, boy, and I'm sure you will find out one day yourself. Maybe
I'm
you
not
won't
trying.
survive the incident, but hey.
I'm sure if I don't, you'll be there to study my body.
Well, you're not undead, so I'm not particularly interested.
Anyway, I'm thinking
why
the
you're just
Carrion
interested in
Compass
life.
is the way to go. We just need a part of the affected individual, shall we say?
Oh!
It's a spell that will lead us to either the air quotes vampire's most recent controller or the cause of its undeath.
That's very useful.
Yes,
It is,
but
isn't it?
Alucard has been a vampire here for over 100 years.
This one,
Yes!
and you're only just reporting this.
I mean, he's immortal. That might be no time at all for him.
The Empire
Well,
is well
regardless, it-
aware of my captive
Is there a
here.
time limit on your spell?
No,
Of course, no, there isn't.
Yeah, no, can still find out. Doesn't matter
it should
if
still
the
be
time
able
limit
to lead us to the cause of the undeath.
If you'll excuse me, I shall get you your sample. He steps through, and a little barrier flashes as he takes a step forward, reacting to him.
If you can get an appendix, that would be really good.
Hey, dwarf, you want to poke that berry?
Do you need your appendix, Alucard? No. Oh, I see we get the grumpy one today. Now, give me that. The Count plunges his hand straight through his Alucard's body and pulls out an appendix.
What the fuck?
Thank you.
I don't. That's not very sanitary.
That's definitely not normal.
Uh,
Here you go. I hope you can
There you
use
go.
it properly.
is that just a
Say-
thing you can do, or
Yes, it
I can
is.
demonstrate it on you.
It's not typically a
Seeing the
halfling
barefoot
ability.
Thing now.
I don't know halflings, so it might be.
Did he go Kalima? Kalima before running?
Kalima.
That would only work if it was a heart. It was an
I'm going to
appendix.
protect myself by saying, Nam Shavai, you betrayed Shiva.
What is Shiva, and can I take its appendix?
Shiva is an outsider god of destruction.
Ew. Okay. Are you going to cast the spell then?
No, I'm going to summon Shiva. Okay,
Aw.
let's do the spell, I suppose. Just a second. It's only verbal and somatic. This is the material. Where should we do it?
Does it matter?
Keep meteor clear. And yeah, I shall cast Carrion Compass.
We'll be
Excellent.
there.
Yeah.
The organ floats up and starts floating back towards the cage,
It caused its
Suicide.
own undeath?
and slowly floats back to the body of Alucard.
Aw.
That is also not normal. I will just point that out.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means that it caused its own undeath, I guess.
Oh, they can do that? I've never seen a vampire do that.
Well, liches can.
Ooh, maybe you're right.
Brave Knights as well.
I guess someone could technically cause their own undead by undeath by infecting themselves on purpose with.
What if They are an emergent of a new primal, like you said. That would surely count.
Yeah, I mean... Is this, like, patient zero here?
It could be, but they have been contained here for a very long time. At this mention, the figure turns and goes, I haven't done outside. I am always disturbed at how deep that voice is. It's like, kind of weird. Something else has. I can just sense it.
I love that Carrying Compass specifically says the organ cannot engage in combat.
This feels like
ominous.
This feels like an unnecessary addendum. What creature is there that has fighting organs?
I mean, you could have, like, a polar bear's liver and have it force itself into something's mouth so they die from vitamin B12 poisoning.
Yes, go liver, attack, force yourself into its mouth. Yeah.
You're the ones I asked for, aren't you?
The one and only.
No. No. Is that rock poo? Ooh, I need to look at some of that. There's not been rocks here in ages. I've never had the chance to study their excrement.
I'm putting the band-aid on this one right now.
Did he go
Listen.
with anybody else for a second?
Listen carefully. The farmer. Find the farmer. That will be how you start.
Oh, anything else? I feel the farmer is a bit vague.
There are several farmers around here.
There are not.
Oh, never mind then.
You guys only have one farmer? What the fuck?
We ship most of our food in and hunt. We've not had need
This is
for.
the north. There's not a whole lot of growing soil.
Man, we wasted so many mashed potatoes.
Oh, I have more. I'm rich, you know.
What kind of farmer is he?
Crazy, hysterical fucking laugh.
Okay, where's the nearest farm?
That must be in one of the two villages in my domain.
Crazy.
You would be looking for the western village. It's right by the entrance of the village. You should find the mill quite easily.
What's the western village called?
Oh, damned if I know.
Westville.
Like Western Faeldrin? Did I call it Western Faeldrin? I'm just gonna call it Westy.
Wanna come along with us to Wesley?
Oh my, no!
Shut up, Wesley.
I didn't hire you to attend. I have research to do, otherwise I'd be doing this myself.
What kind of research are you even
It
doing right
sounds like
now?
Alucard over there doesn't really want to talk to you about it.
Well, that's
That's really
probably because I've been pestering them for a few hundred years and keep taking their organs.
Yeah, I was about to say, the appendix ripping probably doesn't make for great relationships.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
that thing came out really easily.
I'm actually quite grateful they're so passive, because they are definitely more powerful than me. Whispers under his breath there.
Maybe they want you to get confident and one day they're just gonna eat you.
No, they've been taking their time then.
Yeah, no long con.
Besides, to die to a primal vampire, well, that would be one for the records.
This guy has issues, let's get out of here.
Oh! If you're going to the village, please be aware that the rooms here are for your use and you have free entry should you require them.
Also, do we get to wave around like your authority as your guest, etc., etc.?
Oh, yes, you have my full authority to investigate and enter any area under my domain.
Can we have like proof of evidence, some sort of seal?
Oh, yes, of course. He pulls out and reaches one and says, which one of you wishes to hold it?
Give it to Seth, he likes small things.
Okay.
I do, you know. It's a...
Well then,
Fun is a small thing.
here you go, my friend.
Yep.
And good journey to you. I'm going to go back to my lab.
Alright, Snuffles, hold this.
Wait, you have a lab?
I have many labs. I keep losing them, so I have to make more.
Are we gonna run into labs?
If I find one, can I keep it?
No, I don't know if you can take it with you, sure, but I'd like to see you try.
Oh no, the blue lady and the small person are arguing.
I am so going to
They've
keep
been
that lab.
arguing.
I know,
Oh, yeah,
everyone's
no.
been ignoring it.
Yeah, there's more pressing things to deal
Wait,
with.
so
let's
are we
be honest.
outside now?
Yes.
Yeah, we just got kicked out of his house.
Alright.
Goodbye, suckers!
Now that we're out of that nutball's house.
I heard that, bitch!
Wait, before
No,
we leave,
you
do you have a
didn't.
library?
So, do we want to check the graveyard to make sure his wife is actually there?
Yes.
I'm going to grab the shovel that I do actually have in my handy.
Oh.
Bitch, you better not!
Don't, not grave digging.
I'm just saying checking. I'm not talking about digging anything up.
Okay, no
If we
shovel.
walk into the
grab a
graveyard, I can
trowel.
begin checking for undead.
Can I
So
point
about
out that the graveyard is, given you've got a dwarf in your party, a
15
day's
miles.
travel away?
That's a lot of travel away.
Why is the graveyard so far away?
Because
Why is
Do you
these,
everything
want
so
to
far
live
away
next
from
to a
this guy?
graveyard?
this is not a small region with a few houses in.
Yeah, this is all very remote. I guess we have a day's travel to get to the mill, by the looks of it.
Yes.
We want to take a small break now?
Yes, if you want, while you make a decision, we can have a break. So,
Get your drinks! Get
Do
your
we get-
snacks! We'll be
Get
right
your snack.
back!
Do we get a countdown for the break?
Oh yeah, please count us down.
Yeah,
Uh,
I want to know when it actually starts.
wait, I need to actually set up some stuff for this. Why are you
Can we
doing
get-
these things to me?
Can we get a countdown for the actual countdown too, just so we're 100% clear when
Yeah,
to be
so
quiet?
so we're quiet during the actual countdown.
No, you tell us to be quiet this way. Oh, whatever.
We're very polite and we would never speak during a countdown. But if people talk about countdowns and don't count down, then yeah, then we can't really. You can't really
We
I'm going to fucking make a countdown, I swear to god.
What?
will be back soon. Hello, I am back, and so is everybody else. There we go.
Not it.
Not it? Okay, cool. Welcome back, everybody.
Yay.
Hi. How's everyone doing? So,
Got a
I'm
cat.
dead, yeah.
Terribly. Oh god, dime bars.
nice.
I
So,
love dime bars, but I can't eat them anymore.
Why not?
Retainer.
so, you will obviously have to rest for the night before you set out, unless you want to travel in the darkness.
But he kicked us out.
Not officially, I just went to the map.
We can break back in.
Yes.
Does he have a library?
Morning greeting, Otter. Nice.
I wanna watch this.
Is anyone against traveling at night?
I mean, I can't really see in the dark, per se.
Do you have a light spell?
You also don't know where you're going.
I have a lantern.
Now, we've seen a map.
You can do it if you want, I'm just recommending you don't.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to either.
Alright, we'll stay the night at creepy halfling.
Oh no,
then.
I do have dark vision, but still, I don't want to.
It's still limited range.
I was thinking
don't
I should
have
have
dark
dark
vision.
vision because I am amphibious. It's kind of useful in the ocean.
Yes.
And in the ocean.
Yes.
What about Ocean's Ocean? Or Ocean's Ocean?
Hard to say.
So, yes, the chat is very distracted by the linkings going on here. Oh god, now there's owls. I can see, obviously, this is the way my stream should work from now on. I should totally just provide links to other videos.
So you
Brilliant.
just become a YouTube curator.
Yes. So, it is the morning. You get to do whatever it is you wish to do. You occasionally hear noises echoing through the hall of, "Oh, that is good."
I want to see if I can find the library.
Oh no, it shouldn't do that.
Get in the big rooms.
Oh god. Someone get the net.
No.
Man, he must be really lonely after his wife died.
No, I don't know how we're going to lure it down. Have you tried chocolate icing? I'm literally just going to keep saying things like this until you guys do suggest a course of that.
You should try the mashed potatoes.
Oh, good idea. Get the mashed potato. Oh god, it's on me again.
I feel we should head south and leave him to it.
Yeah. I'll come to
Who
the library
let
some other
it breathe? How can it breathe fire?
So
Yeah,
let's
that's-
do the 6
Market
miles to this
settlement.
market
Yeah.
town.
But how about we go to the big scary tower?
Or
Market
these
town first,
mysterious
scary
ruins
tower
through the woods.
Second.
Eccentric gnome, what's your problem?
Okay, so let's forge our way onwards. 6 miles to the market.
6 steps southwards, and maybe go.
That
Can we
takes,
leave the dwarf
as a
here?
party with 2 small people, it takes you about 3 hours to get to the market town at their pace.
Okay.
Well, I have a
I'm
mouse.
5 foot faster.
We only have
Oh.
we only have 1 small person, and he has a riding dog.
Oh shit! I don't have an animal.
Wait,
I'm gonna buy.
I
I'm
can
gonna
move
buy
what
a
are your
couple-
land
I have a
speeds?
mule you could probably ride.
I can move up to 40
I'm
feet on
100
my ride
something
and dog.
pounds.
What can you move, Ed?
I'm not talking riding Meteor, I'm talking ride the mount that I have.
Oh, you have a
Ed,
mount?
What's
I
your
brought a mule.
speed?
20 foot.
Yes,
What's the
it
mule
takes you
speed?
3 hours.
Shrugs.
I can just ride the.
What does a
Mount,
mule
that's
count
30.
as? A light horse? Less than a light
I
horse?
think so.
A pack mule
Probably.
is...
Okay, if you use the mule, I will allow you to move at the same speed as a party. It only takes you 2 hours.
Yeah.
In town? Oh yeah, wait, don't worry.
You arrive at a giant market. People are just starting to set up stalls at this time of day. Mainly because
How many
travelers...
weird looks is our party getting?
Not many. This is the hub where all the traders come to buy metals, products produced from metals, precious gems, all the crap that gets mined out of the mountains here. So, like, there's tons of strange people, traders from far away, because every city needs to occasionally make a trade deal. And a lot of them just want to make a
blue
quick buck.
people.
Well, you're not going to find any Samsarans, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but I can search for blue people.
I try and find someone who's selling rams,
Rams.
and a large wagon.
A wagon? Yeah, you could probably persuade a trader to part with them for high enough.
More specifically, rams, though.
Ram?
Mm,
You're going to struggle. This isn't sheep land.
It's not
I
Will's.
mean, not like a riding ram.
Oddly enough, no.
It's the most exotic animal he can get here.
Oh, I guess a horse will do. How much are horses?
Like 50 golds.
Yeah, I'll just get 4 horses. That's fine.
Can you get a rhinoceros?
4 horses?
Well, yeah, a large wagon needs 4 large animals.
Oh, you're really going all out with the wagon, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a big
Alright.
wagon.
I'm okay with this. This is fine.
This is just like the fucking boat.
God, here
Red
it begins.
steeds.
The wagon's only like 3 copper pieces, apparently.
Wait, what? Is that when you're like...
I'm pretty sure that's hiring passage on a wagon.
Oh yeah, sorry, 100 copies, my bad. I was looking at the wrong thing, I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Buying a wagon is still fairly cheap. My
Like-
players have bought
Like
loads.
300 gold for like the horses and the wagon, it seems.
This is fairly easy to do. There's always horse traders.
Awesome.
Can we roll for the quality of the horse? Maybe we get Red Steed 2.0.
Oh god.
You know what? Go ahead.
Horses.
Dear hundreds, 4 of them.
Come
Alright,
on.
Ed, come on.
Come on, Ed.
We get massive variance.
Give us the
on our
top
horses.
percentage.
That is... Oh, okay, I see. Right, okay,
Shitty
cool.
horse.
You have horses. I'm not telling
One
you
of them
what
is
horses.
completely average.
We have a really shitty, sickly old horse as well.
No, carry on.
I
You
know
have
that.
horses. You have 4 horses.
Okay, I'm just gonna load up my stuff. Can I buy a... Oh wait, I'll probably buy a tent as well, I need one of those.
I mean, you can
You
sleep in a
can
carriage.
buy a
now.
tent.
Oh wait, I can just sleep in the wagon, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What am I on
you
about?
just got yourself a home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after about 20 minutes,
Not
you
quite very
return
after.
of wandering around the market, you have emerged with the wagon and horses.
Ta-da! He's gonna like stand in the front and like do like a little...
Alright, serious question. Until we actually get a marker for you guys, who wants to be the party marker?
Dips.
There we go.
We'll allow it.
So who wants to ride in my wagon?
Me.
Yeah, sure, I'm lazy.
And who has a good ride check? Who is...
Why are the 2 of you?
What do you count as
I
good?
have no idea.
Better than -7.
Yeah, our penalty
Oh, wait,
check is
oh, yeah.
bitch.
Luna has a +6 to ride.
Are we on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Oh, what's
He
your ride
has
check?
nothing on.
My
the
ride?
Yeah.
Do I need to roll it, or does it just...
No, we
What's
just
your
want to know.
bonus?
Yeah.
Is it the one under skills?
Yeah.
Chat has a
0.
request for you, by the way,
Oh.
Grandpa. I think Rip kind of wants Otter Lee to be the party icon.
Oh, yeah.
He is
I mean,
the
that's
mascot, so yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a character sheet for Butler for whenever we get that icon back.
There we go.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I have that icon, sorry. Have you given me access? Or...
Yeah, you have access.
Awesome. There's Butler.
And here
Oh,
comes the Owl Cheer Squad.
God.
Whoop whoop!
Hooray!
Oh, I think your red check may be 6 higher than you have red now.
So, yeah, you've got that. Is anyone else doing anything? TGO, you don't have fans. You have angry rioters.
Excuse you, I have a fan club.
Is it? Did your mum make it?
I don't think it counts as a fan club yet until you sell pancakes.
Where's my fan club?
Is it a club with a
Okay.
fan on it, by any chance?
Alright, so... Next up, do we want to go straight for the farm, or do we want to make a stop at the ruins?
I mean, I'm looking to see if I can buy any birds here before we go
Huh.
anywhere else.
Fun
Those I
fact,
can't-
wagons are slower than walking.
What?
Wait,
Yeah,
is that
that makes sense.
They are just as slow as the dwarf.
But
Ha,
they
you
have a
just
carry
wasted
weight
your
well in
gold.
excess.
Yeah, no, you can transport
Hold on, which
everything.
thing is that?
We want a carriage, not a wagon.
Oh, how much is a carriage?
More expensive, probably.
100 gold.
Oh, could I have got a carriage instead because they're the same price?
Go ahead!
Thank you.
Where are you getting the speed of the wagon from?
Modes of movement. There's a list of all the mounts and vehicles, and a cart or wagon has a speed of 2 miles per hour.
On the vehicles page, it says a wagon goes twice the speed of the pulling creatures.
How does that work?
Because there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how...
That
on
doesn't make
this
it
page.
faster.
Yeah,
That doesn't
no.
make it faster.
That
But
shouldn't
it should
be.
It should be
Huh.
able to go fast though.
But how does it have you... How
'Cause
does
it
it have
has-
you wagon
because the
suddenly go
horses-
twice the speed of a horse?
Horse's pull weight is so high as well. Because if you do it off the horses, they can definitely pull, like, whatever, like a wagon on light. Use a base horse option.
Base horse is in light horse?
No, just like a horse.
Oh! By the way, do not mistake the speed in the listing for the speed of overland movement.
True, that's long.
That is the equivalent of running, and you can't maintain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maximum speed, right?
Okay.
How fast can a carriage go?
Good question. There's not one in the list, which kind of sucks.
Carriage.
I imagine
hardness.
this. Oh, carriage only has half. Like
Acceleration is the speed of the pulling creatures.
I would say it's whatever the difference is between a carriage and a wagon.
It seems a carriage can just travel the speed of the creatures pulling it.
what's the average speed of a horse over that duration?
Like here. Horse. That would mean.
I feel like if we just asked the guy, he would have arranged transportation for us.
But would probably be 50 feet.
You seem to think we're smart about this.
You know, you probably could have got.
Yeah,
this
no,
for
I will
free.
say the carriage can go
50 feet per round.
the full. It can go twice as fast as a wagon can overland, which means it can go 4 miles per hour instead of the 3 a normal-sized person can.
Actually, I have a wagon.
Why?
Why are we going back to the wagon now?
Because then I will
Then
reduce.
I can transport goods.
You can also put.
Then
cargo
I
on
will
a,
reduce it
carriage.
to a 2.
Yeah,
Wait, can you put cargo on a carriage?
yeah,
Yeah,
200 pounds of cargo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
It's not a lot.
4,000 pounds
No.
of cargo.
But when are you gonna fucking carry 4,000 pounds of cargo?
He has plans.
Yeah.
He's a dwarf! He's going to go mine!
Wow, that's racist!
No,
That's
true.
not racist, that is exactly what I'm gonna do.
He is a dwarf and he's digging a hole.
Oh,
Diggy,
Oh,
diggy
no.
hole.
What is this? 2008?
Yes!
why can't it be 2008?
It was a
Mission
safe.
movies for Phil.
That was a great.
Oh.
Please let's not go back to 2008.
Okay.
Also, we're gonna need, just so you know, someone that's gonna drive this will need to either handle animal or profession driving.
Who is
I
who is
have
helicoptering?
I am a fucking druid.
You should stop
Yeah.
that. It's disgusting.
Look, we're starting the Ludo
Okay,
target
you have
bus
12 more
company.
miles to travel. That will take you 6 hours with a wagon in tow.
Bloody hell.
We're away.
Versus 3
Right, so-
hours with a carriage.
So are we gonna go straight to the farm, or do we want to stop by the ruins first? Oh, I feel kind of tempted to go to the ruins.
You're free to do so, but why would we?
Yeah,
It's on the
no.
way.
Okay,
We don't
I'm
know what they are.
going to give you a word of advice regarding how this part of the game works, at least after the farm, more specifically.
Okay, who is doing that? Because it's really annoying.
It's Puppet.
I
Thank
got
you.
bored.
Simply put, you can go wherever you want, but the more useless detours you take, the worse it gets for you.
Okay, I will
But
go for
Don't
the. By the
go
way,
up the mountain.
I'm
is
going for the
lesson.
carriage as a heads up. By the way,
Okay, we're back to
but,
4 miles.
but can I not buy this actually because it only needs 2 horses. This one.
Yeah, okay, sure. So yeah, basically, it's entirely fine, but you should probably try and make sure the journey is worthwhile before you make your move. Which means you might have to gather information about the area before you just dive into a random ruin. Just saying.
I
Out
have
of
a
interest.
feeling we're going to go to that menacing tower.
Really? What gave you that idea eventually?
Ah, punch. There's lots of mountains around it.
So, eventually you arrive at the farm.